sorry, but it's absolute nonsense that the NHS is underfunded. The UK, I believe, is the sixth highest healthcare spending out of all the OECD countries. It's consistently rising. This idea that there's this elaborate scheme that the Tories are trying to underfund the NHS to
They have
privacy is a
underfunded it. Have a
conspiracy
look at it
theory,
yourself.
and it shouldn't be taken seriously. It's an absolute
Look at
joke.
it yourself. If you look at all the fellow European Union countries, Germany, France,
We're sixth
Italy,
highest
Spain,
out of 32
right?
countries. I think it's an actual
as a product of GDP, we invest less.
Let Jess finish, Barrett, because you did have your say. Jess, I mean, is he saying that you're wrong? Are we spending more than other countries?
We're the sixth highest out of 32 other countries. It's a product of the system. It's a system that's wrong. I wish that healthcare companies acted like Tesco and Asda. That would actually produce a better product if we treated patients like consumers. I think then we have a healthcare system that prioritises the patients, prioritises the people. You know, during the COVID pandemic, we were told to protect the NHS. Why doesn't our healthcare system protect us? I think we completely need to change our mentality around the NHS because, quite frankly, it's a cult mentality. The NHS needs to be abolished.
Jess, what do you make of that? The other thing we've not really brought into this is a lot of money that seems to be being spent in the NHS at the moment is for new digital systems, technological advancements, and maybe we need more human beings.
Well,
I mean, personally, I think
sorry, let's just let Jess come in. Go on, Jess.
I mean, I think it's best that we let the market decide what is needed. Personally, I think one individual person or a group of people aren't able to decide the entire healthcare system of a country. The issue is centralisation. The issue is bad economic planning. You can't have economic calculation. You can't have a properly efficient allocation of resources when you have a centralized socialist system. And we can look to loads of other different examples around the world. Australia, there's the Nordic models, Germany, all these different countries have different types of healthcare systems, and they perform way better than the NHS. I think, honestly, if you care about people, if you care about patients, if you care about the workers in the NHS, if you care about the taxpayer who is forced to fund this immoral system, then you would want to get rid of the NHS and replace it with something a lot more privatised.
Why is it immoral, Jess?
Yeah.
I think it's immoral to force people to fund a system which they don't have a lot of choice in. Yeah, sure, it might be free at the point of use, but what's the point of it being free at the point of use if no one can use it because the waiting list is so long? I think that's immoral. I think people should have autonomy over their body and autonomy over their healthcare. I think it's immoral to say that you have to fund the system, especially the working class has to fund this system, and they don't have many other options as well. And they have to use their tax money to that, which could go towards private systems, which would serve them, which would treat them as consumers instead of just being a cog on the waiting list. I think that would be a more moral system. I think we should put Nye Bevan up there with the rest of the socialist dictators like Chairman Mao and Stalin, quite frankly.
Go on, Barrett, you're shaking your head vociferously there.
Look, the simple answer is as follows. Poor people die as a result of not receiving healthcare.
Can I quickly respond on the American thing? Because for one, I'm not advocating for an American system. There are plenty of other examples, like I mentioned, with the Nordic model, for example. But to the issue with the American system is actually like government regulation, like the American Medical Association and the FDA lobbying the government, making it unaffordable for consumers. Again, the issue goes to the free markets. And I think if you genuinely care about people, you would be for free market healthcare.